Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for being here, wherever you're joining from. Good to see everybody in the chat, as always. I'm running a little bit late today because I was busy setting things up over there with a new pile of toys and streaming to the members only stream, BTS stream, before the show, and got lost track of time. Well, troubleshooting things and then lost track of time. And yeah, that's why we're late. It's fine. If you do have a question, drop your question in the chat. Start with the letter Q. That'll filter it easier on my screen so I can see it so that we don't lose it in the chat. And otherwise, we will just chat about whatever today and see what trouble we can get up to. I do have a little pile of gear going on over there. After last week's stream, I had mentioned that I had bought this video wall controller like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like $200, and people were like, they're much cheaper now. So I went and got a cheap one, and it was $20. So we'll see what we get out of it. There was also a $20 multi-viewer, so that's the opposite. So multi-viewer takes 4 HDMI ins and turns it into a grid, and the video wall controller takes one video feed and breaks it into a grid and sends 4 HDMIs out. So the theory is that you can use it to get 4 remote cameras into a studio over a single SRT video feed, because you can take the grid of 4 and put it into one video feed. So that's what I'm playing with. Other thing I wanted to mention is I'm trying out something new today, which is using the AI meeting summary feature in Zoom, because I realized I have a Zoom account and it has, oh shoot, I didn't press go. Okay, well, we're going to start now. I'll show you how this works. Let me go back to my SuperSource layout. So in Zoom, sorry for the tunnel vision. Actually, you know what? I can fix that. Let me first go to my ATEM and give my, is it the major? No, it's this one. I'm going to give that just, nope, it is, yeah, I'm going to give it the table camera. And then we're going to use, not the web presenter, we're going to use that one as the video camera feed. You going Zoom? Can you do it? Oh no, I crashed it. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Why are you showing that output? It is the Magewell encoder. No, it's the SDI capture card. That's the one. Too many devices connected. Okay, great. Now, SDI capture card. Okay, so, oh, that's interesting. Well, whatever, I don't care about that right now. Point is, there is a feature in Zoom, which is called AI Companion, and it also has this feature down here called Start Summary. So I'm going to click that now. Meeting summary is on. So what this does is at the end of the Zoom meeting, I'm going to get an email with a summary of everything that happened in the live stream. So I'm not recording the meeting. I'm just using the AI feature to give me a little transcript of this afterwards. We'll see how it does. I did this already for the BTS stream, and the summary of what happened in the BTS stream is pretty good. Quick recap. Aaron tackled various technical issues related to Zoom's AI summary feature, a video wall controller, and decoding and streaming of video feeds. He also addressed problems with website mapping and attempted to resolve issues with an AI companion and a hyperdeck. Despite encountering several hurdles, Aaron persisted in his troubleshooting efforts and made progress in understanding and resolving some of these issues. And then it goes into detail about, which is what I was hoping for, essentially chapters. So I can go and paste this into the description, or I could use this to remind myself what happened so I can go back and find timestamps for these to put in the description. troubleshooting video feed decoding issues. Aaron was troubleshooting issues with decoding and streaming video feeds. Experiment with different configurations, including the use of a video mode controller and a hyperdeck trying to decode. See, it's pretty good. So we'll see how it does with this stream. I'm just going to leave this thing running and we'll see how it goes. Okay. Great. Questions are coming in. Yeah, John says, and the reason to gang up 4 feeds is so they will always be in sync on the other end. Right. And just, I think it saves bandwidth too, because you can use, well, maybe it doesn't actually save bandwidth, but yeah, the sync issue is definitely like probably the biggest advantage of doing it that way. If you're sending 4 SRT feeds individually, they're definitely not going to be perfectly in sync. But if you take a single video feed with 4 pictures in it, then they have to be in sync by definition. The big downside, the big drawback with combining them is that you only get 1 audio channel. So it only works if you only need 1 audio channel, as opposed to needing the separate audio channels from each feed. But yeah. Okay, let's see what we got in the chat before we get going. Matt says, YOLObox Ultra user from Frank. The recent beta 203 is a serious crash bug. Do not update if you haven't done that. Oh, good tip. That's funny because I turned mine on 10 minutes ago to test something with it, and it had the upgrade prompt, and I did not upgrade because I didn't want it to take 10 minutes to reboot anyway. But good to know. I'll wait for the next one. Gwen says, if you didn't hear, Gostream Duet started shipping and are in the wild. Oh, great. Okay. I did not hear that, actually. Let me go see what we see on this. I see 2-day shipping on Amazon. That's great. Fantastic. Okay, that means I can do, here is the link to the Duet. That's great. That means I can do a proper video about it and we can demo it again. The Duet thing, the feature of the Duet is the SDI and HDMI input, which is option, which is very cool. Okay, got a couple questions in here from Big Mike. How loud does the Constellation sound in the room in comparison with the extreme ISO versions? Oh yeah, good question. So I have the 4ME. I had the 2ME on loan a while ago. If I remember correctly, they were pretty similar. I don't know exactly how similar in noise they were because it is in the rack with the rest of the stuff back there. They are not loud. They're not like the old style ATEMs that like sounded like servers, but they're not silent. The ATEM Mini Extreme, at least all the ones I've had, are like literally dead silent. Like they do not make any sound except when you first turn them on, the fan blasts for a couple seconds and then it drops down and is silent. I know some people have had issues with the fan noise. I don't know what is going on with those. I guess I tend to use them in reasonably cool rooms. So maybe that's related. But anyway, I would describe it as the ATEM Mini Extreme does not make any sound, and the Constellations do make some sound. However, they are not noise machines. So I think it's pretty good. Clear Life Media says, thanks for being a channel member. New ATEM Constellation 4K output to LiveView 4K direct to YouTube RTMP. Can't get YouTube to go to 4K. LiveView Solo does show that it's a 4K video into it. Well, YouTube doesn't show. It should just work. Because I don't think there's any settings. No, there is a setting. This might be what it is. Let me go actually try this really quick and make a new. Let's try it. Let's make a new stream. If I just go make a new stream, we'll do 4K test. The trick is that there is a setting. Oh yeah, I always do members only chat because otherwise spammers like to come by. So that's the reason for the members only chat, or not members only, but subscribers only chat. So if you're watching this video and you're not a subscriber, that's the reason. It's not to try to trick you into subscribing. Let's make this an unlisted stream. And let's, because it's on the next one. Yeah, okay, so it's the stream key. If you go to create new stream key, you can choose 4K. And if you have it set to 1080 and you give it a 4K, I don't know what happens. Probably nothing good. And my screen doesn't like to zoom in. There we go. So it could be that your stream key was set to 1080, and that's why. So go and double check your stream key setting to make sure that it is either auto detected or set to 4K. And let's do that. Copy the stream key, and I should, in theory, be able to go to this encoder and stream 4K to that. Push, config, no. Encode, where is this? This is an encoder. It's getting a 4K signal in, which is no, it's not getting a 4K signal in. This is the one that has 4 HDMIs in. So it's taking the 4 HDMI feeds in, turning it into a 4-up grid. And theoretically, I should be able to push this to, there it is, and push it to YouTube. Should we try it? Let's grab the stream URL and the stream key and push and go and see if it is going to start pushing to YouTube. I've never done it from this encoder before. Not getting data yet. This is the thing I was struggling with earlier in the BTS stream. Getting this to actually work. RTMP, YouTube. RTMP is on. Push is on. Push config. Oh, it's trying. Do I need to do that one also? It's really not clear from this interface. They really could do better on their web interface. Okay, yeah, I don't know why that one's not going. And I don't have a HDMI plugged into this one. This one's decoding. It's also, yeah, weird. Maybe it can't do two things at once because it is doing something else right now. Anyway, the stream key is my theory with your setting. How many streams can Aaron run at once? That is a good question. How much bandwidth would you want for your 4-up feed to go off-site? That's what I was testing. Okay, so I did get this working finally, right before the stream started. Let me undo the YouTube thing. And so what I've got is I have this is a encoder. I should probably grab the link to this one. This one is, it's a cool little box. It is, I need to look at my Amazon history for this one. So LinkPi makes a couple of little boxes I've used before, and was it not from Amazon? It is. This one, I think, I don't remember who it was. Somebody mentioned it last week, and I was like, that sounds really cool. It essentially is the, oh yeah, it's on the diagram right here. So in this diagram, I had the 4 remote cameras going into a multi-view box, which goes into an SRT encoder. Well, this box is the multi-viewer and SRT encoder in one. So this is the this is the, I have to go back to the other stream to go into the chat. This is the LinkPi ENC5, which is this box, which has 5 HDMI ports. I don't know why it's 5, not 4, but 5 HDMI ports on the back. It's also a decoder too, but the reason I got it was because it has multiple HDMI ports, and then you can plug in, multiple cameras into this, and then you go into the video mix option, and you can create your grid layout. So you can do other things as well, like 3x3 if you wanted. Now you don't have 1080 though. So the reason I did 2x2 is because when this is a 4K canvas, each of these is full 1080. So I have my 4 HDMI cameras plugged into this, and then it is actually encoding a 4K 30. It can do 4K 60, but I don't care about 60. So I do a 4K 30 feed, and that is now a single feed I can push. So the SRT is enabled. It is an SRT listener. So as long as I can reach this from my studio, I can go pull the SRT feed from that, which will have the 2-up grid. So the bandwidth encoding on that. So it is set to 4 megabits a second as the encoder. I don't know what those mean. Sync. 4 megabit per second constant bit rate, and we can see what it's actually doing. So that's the encoder. That would be the remote piece. And now it's only one box you have to have on the remote rig, which is nice. It's only one thing to power also. I don't remember if it's, I don't think it's USB power, unfortunately. I think it's it's a 12 volt DC power. So then you take a decoder box on your studio end and you pull the feed from there. So this is the one I'm using right now, which is pulling the SRT feed from that box, and it is confirming it's getting a 4K signal. It looks like it's actually sitting at 11 megabits. I don't know why, because the encoder is set to 4. So maybe at 4 wasn't enough for it to do it. We could change it to VBR and see what happens. I still don't really understand the difference between mainstream and these. I guess actually it's because SRT config. Did I type that in? Did I type that in? This web interface is not my favorite. If I do that, does it change what it's SRT encoding? I didn't think so. Let's turn that off and back on and see what happens. So the, no. Okay, so it is still just grabbing the, I'll explain that in a second. It is just grabbing the 4-up. So somewhere in here, it's telling it what to encode over SRT, and I can't remember where now. Anyway, bandwidth was the question. Okay, this is getting, now it's saying 0 kilobits. We'll see if it eventually figures itself out. 4 megabit HEVC sounds quite achievable from a lot of locations. If it actually is 4, yes, then absolutely. Because like normally you would be pushing up 6 to YouTube, and I've done that on a phone connection. The question is whether it's actually 4 or if it is letting it use more bandwidth because it's VBR. Maybe actually that's what's going on. Maybe it's not showing me the rate because it's VBR now. Let me change it back to CBR. Let's try it at 6 and see if we can get it to go to 6. Mix. This web interface is so weird. It's so weird. Okay. And we're going to go back here. We're going to turn that off. Turn it back on. Tell it to grab the SRT feed. Hopefully it'll tell us the bitrate now. I wish I had a better way to determine and actually see the data rate that it's going. Okay, well, that CBR versus VBR was not the reason this was not displaying the rate. So we'll just let it sit for a little while and think about its life. Oh, hey, Adam is here. The new HyperDeck Studio HD Plus is quiet compared to the previous version. Studio HD Plus. I always forget the names and which are because their names are just such a mess. Studio HD Plus. Oh yeah, that's the one I have a stack of over here. I agree. That one is also extremely quiet. Although I only had the mini before that, and now they're gone from the site. I only had the mini before that, and the mini was also silent. So it's nice that they're using quiet fans. Adam says, I have a rack with the Constellation Ultimate Video Hub, 2 HyperDecks, Web Presenter, and the Constellation's the only thing whose fans really come on. Nice. Okay. Adam is one of those with the noisy ATEM Extreme ISO. That's so weird. So weird. All right, let's go back through here and see what we've got in the chat. Kirtan says, I have an ATEM Mini Pro Extreme all HDMI. In each model, the HDMI output stops working after a while. Could this be to improper usage, or is there a firmware update or another solution for this issue? Please note that all HDMI inputs work properly. Stops working after a while. That's not normal. There shouldn't be anything you can do to cause that though, other than cables. So I guess double check the cable lengths that you're using, because longer cables can be flaky with HDMI for sure. But that's about the only thing you can do to really mess it up. I guess it all depends on what you're plugging it into, but generally the outputs should be very rock solid, stable. Lee's Boring Life says, I asked YouTube to notify me of the stream and it failed me. I just saw it by accident. I know everyone says click the bell to be notified when you post a video or go live. It does not do that. It's a total gamble as to whether you're going to actually get a notification. What are you doing? Says, what does the audio from each camera do going into the LinkPi? Can you put a mic from one speaker on the left and another on the right? Let's try that. Let's see what kind of audio configs we have in the encoder. So I have the option of choosing the audio source, which is good. Channels, I only have mono or stereo, but I can only choose one. So I could say I want the audio from this camera, not from everything. But that's all I see. Is there anything in the advanced settings? No, not really. Yeah, okay. And then, yeah, okay. So you get to choose what does save to group do? Oh, you can sync it to other devices. Whoa, fancy. Okay. Oh, how about audio config? Channel name, HDMI 1, source HDMI 1, gain, sample rate, channels. So if there are multiple channels, can I advanced encode? Nothing, no audio settings there. No, I don't see any options. So I can pull individual if I set my audio config to where each channel has each HDMI as source, I could pull multiple SRT feeds off of this box. Not the same as my mix, my 4-up grid, but let's see, now in the stream settings, yeah, now, oh, okay, now I get it. In the SRT config, now I have multiple SRT configs, one for each channel, so I could get audio, individual cameras and individual audio feeds now if I wanted to. Like if I turn on this one, we should be able to pull up 9001, was it? Should be able to pull up one of the cameras individually. Does that go? No? HDMI 1 listener. Oh, do I need to do this? It's trying. There it goes. So now we're getting the audio from just this camera and just one video feed, as opposed to if I go and pull up 9018, we get the grid. I don't know. I don't understand why this box is editable. It doesn't make any sense. But, oh, I think it's busy because it's being sent to the other decoder already. So you'd have to send each speaker's mic into a single camera. Yeah, so it's only going to work for certain setups where, like, there is only one audio mix. It does have a line input also. So there is a analog input if you're doing your audio mix in a mixer remotely. So you could bring in audio that way. But if you're the other way to do it is like you have multiple cameras for an interview, and then you just have your dual channel interview mic kit plugged into one of your cameras, right? That's like how I would record things at NAB. Yes, if you do want to do fancier audio, you could bring it in from analog, which is kind of cool. Another question, Ultra Studio HD Mini and 4K Mini. Is it possible to send out 3 feeds out while capturing a video via SDI? Feed from Pro Presenter, stage monitor, and lower third, and then capture an SDI feed. 3? I don't think so. Ultra Studio HD Mini is the small one. Let's just look at the ports really quick so we know what we're talking about. This one has, so this has 2 SDI outs, but they're not separate. They're not like separate outputs. They're key fill, and then HDMI out, which there's only like one output channel on this box, so you can only output one thing, and you can grab it over HDMI or SDI. If I remember correctly, though, you can use it as an output and input at the same time, which I didn't know about until I was talking with the Blackmagic. That is a yappy little dog. So you can do input and output at the same time. 4K Mini, I don't think that is any different here. 2 program outs, 1 loop out. So you get same, SDI loop out, which is a loop out of the input, not a separate output. And then your A and B, your key and fill channels. If you wanted to do what you're talking about of using one box to do all of that, you'd have to go with the Deck Link card, and you find one of these. They have a whole bunch of different versions of it. Decklink, models. Let's see, 3G SDI, was it this one that I have? Decklink Duo, yeah. So this one is the one that I have now in a Thunderbolt enclosure on top of the rack. And this one is 4 separate ports, which you can configure to do different things. So let me show you the software for it. So this is the 4K Studio Mini, which is set to SDI output. Oh, actually, I wonder if this can output 2 different video feeds. Now that I say this, I really need to get this one's actually what my chat is using, so I can't change this right now. I need to get a second one to try it with. But here's the deck link. This one shows up as 4 different desktop video devices. So what you do is you go in here and you can say, you say connectors, and Decklink Duo 1, the like device in the computer, can maps to just port 1, and if you do that, it becomes a single, like a dedicated output. And if you go to 3, you'll see, oh, here I've set SDI 2. Sorry, it's Duo 2 can be configured to output. Yeah. So here I have the virtual device Decklink Duo 2, which is actually outputting on SDI ports 3 and 4. So I'm using port 1 as an output, ports 3 and 4 as a key and fill output for graphics. And I can then go to Duo 3, and it is using SDI port 2, which I can then use as an input, which is, I think it's just when I go and use it as a device. So in a capture software like Resolve or something, I could tell it to use Duo 3, which is confusingly SDI port 2, as an input. If I had it wired that way, where I was feeding video into port 2. So this might be the way to do it, because the Ultra Studio, even if the Ultra Studio does support 2 separate outputs, which theoretically it does with that option. Should I try it? It's going to break something if I do that. I'm not going to change it. OBS is using it right now. So what the heck? I'll try it. We break things on this stream. Okay. So I'm going to first go to OBS and turn it off, because this is using the Ultra Studio. So I'm going to stop that. Now, I need to see the 2 outputs. So I'm going to go to the ATEM's multi-viewer and put them here, which is Ultra Studio Fill and Ultra Studio Key. Okay. And if you look at, is that still working? Yes. Okay. So I have them here. And if I go back to OBS and let me turn it on to show you like normal mode. Bookmark the Decklink demo. Need to watch that again. Okay. So here I've got the chat, the graphics, and then here's the alpha channel. So if I turn that off, go to desktop video setup and turn it into single link, then what happens if I do that? No. No idea what's going on there. What? What is going on? It's like, I think I do have something plugged into the input there. That's what it is. So the input to the Ultra Studio is this one. And that was showing the multi-view of the other ATEM. Let me change that to something else. Let's say I'm going to feed it my Fire TV. So now it's the weird. So the Ultra Studio is actually outputting. You can't really see it because it's my screen's covering it, but it's outputting the same thing to both SDI ports. And yeah, and I don't have the option of like using a separate the ports separately. So that's not going to work for you. Okay, now we know. Let me go back and configure it to dual link mode. Although, wait. Yeah, I don't know what this... That's weird. That doesn't seem to have any effect. We have to reboot it? I don't know. But my chat's working again, so that's good. Live production mastery is a good comparison video about Deck Link and Ultra Studio. Oh, good. Okay, go take a look at that. On the LinkPi, is there an option to adjust the SRT latency to cope with worse internet conditions? I think I did see something. Let's go check it out. So in the... This is like the video format. So I want to go to the stream section, SRT config. Yeah, so here latency is 50, which is optimistic. Let me turn off these other channels because I don't want them. Oh, did I not save? You have to go down and click save. Okay. Stream, SRT config. I could change that to higher latency, which would probably be better if I was doing this on an actual internet connection. Yes, the answer is yes, you can. Am I doing this SRT test within my LAN or am I testing through an open port outside the LAN? Right now, it's all inside the LAN. So the next stage is test this over internet of some sort. And sadly, I don't think this LinkPi has the option of using a... it doesn't have the option of using like a cellular modem. I can't plug in my USB modem into it, but it does have Wi-Fi, which is weird. So I could tether it to my phone, although then I'm going to lose the ability to control it. So in order to do that, I would need to... What I really should do is I should get a 4G modem, so I can get my computer onto the modem also to control it. Yeah, because then I have to do my VPN thing too. Right. So in order to actually make this work over the internet, you need to have a VPN set up too, because the encoder it's an SRT listener. I guess you could make it a caller and push to your studio. So you could do that. Yeah. Still need a VPN or port forwarding, I guess, at that point. Let me try that, actually. Let me try making this... Can I just do the same... Is this like... What is this? Why are there two? Is this like the substream? It might be like the sub protocol, which is 360p. Let's change that to 1080 because I don't have a 4K. Oh yeah, I was gonna check the bitrate. No, it still hasn't updated. I don't have a 4K SRT. Now it's showing the bitrate. And hey, it is 4K. Oh, great. 4 megabits. And, okay, let's take a look at what that's actually sending so you can see what it looks like at 4 megabits, which is useful. Before I do this other thing. So I need to actually go over to the table so I can point at things. So over here is where I have the stack of gear. So this is the box. This one here is the box with the 4 HDMI inputs. It is pushing over the network to that box, which is decoding it. And this is now going into a new thing, which I got, which is this guy. Which people also mentioned last week, which is this $28, although I think it was like $21 when I bought it, video wall controller from AliExpress. So it's like a cheap version of the other one that I had in this pile. This is the one I bought like a couple years ago. It was like 200 something. This is the cheap one, which is only like $25. And same idea. You take one HDMI in and it gives you 4 HDMI outs. So I should actually grab the other cables for this so I can get the full effect of this. So we've got 4. Is that upside down? Oh, other side. 4 HDMIs on the back. There we go. 4 HDMIs on the back. Those 4 are running into this ATEM. So this ATEM has my four cameras from the studio and now the 4 cameras from this decoder. And that looks like audio is louder. Oh, weird. I haven't tweaked my audio in a long time. I wonder what happened. I don't know what to tell you. Well, too late now. So this is I think it's that one. Yes. Okay. So this is the multi-view of, let me send my main camera here. So this is the multi-view of the ATEM Extreme on the table here, which is silent. And I've got camera 1, 2, 3, 4 are local sources from the studio, and then the cameras 5 through 8 are actually from this little video wall controller. The 4 color HDMI ports here are running into the back of there. So that is how we're getting the 4 videos over the network. Oh, I bumped it and it all got disconnected. Okay. So what the point of this was I wanted to show you what are we actually looking at here on the from the decoded video. I don't really have a way to show you the original, not through the SRT feed, but this video is the 4 megabit 4K split back into 1080 HDMI sources. So like if I just cut the camera over to that, this is a bad one to look at for quality examples because this is a wireless camera on that little car running around transmitting its probably 480p video over analog video, I'm sure. Anyway, these are like actual cameras. And that's what we're getting out the other end. So oh, I should probably make that actually like full screen for you. Let's do that really quick. I need to go. Oh, you know what? Actually, I know how I should do it. Let's go back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the 2 HDMI out ports here because that will let me use the buttons on the ATEM to control what goes to the stream. Let's try that and let's go back to make sure that is getting signal. Okay, now if I go back to the multi-view, I can now actually change it like this with these buttons on the ATEM to show you the different video feeds full screen. So now we can take a look at the Mario Kart, the other cameras, which are better quality cameras. And this is the 4K feed decoded, split back into 1080 feeds, and it's working reasonably well. The the little car got stuck. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's the story. What are the two identical devices to the left of the Blackmagic stack of gear? The middle mystery device has a white HDMI cable. Yeah, okay, so these are both Zowietek decoders, which Zowie boxes, which I mentioned. That was one that I shared last week that I was using last week. Let me drop the link here. These little boxes are you can configure them to be decoders or encoders. So this is I now have two of them. They're pretty affordable. $169 4K video encoder decoder. This is the web interface for this one. This web interface is actually a lot better, in my opinion, than the LinkPi web interface. This one I have set up as a decoder, and it is pulling, this is what's pulling the 4K video feed over SRT at 4 megabit. And we can see it's confirming that it's 4K here. 4K 30, 4 megabit, SRT. You can give it other configs so you can like switch what it's doing. This is set to decoder mode. It can also decode NDI sources. So here's the NDI sources it found on my network. It can also apparently take a USB webcam in, which I don't know why you would do that, but you can do it. And then this is where you tell it like what output format do you want it to be outputting over the HDMI port. And this is decoding the, oh, this one does have a hotspot. Oh, that's to make it a hotspot. Okay. Which is interesting. But yeah, this is pulling the SRT feed 4K that the LinkPi is encoding, which is actually encoding an H.265 HEVC codec, which is very cool. Only downside of this one is that it has a fan, which is audible. This fan is louder than the fan in the HyperDecks. It's not terrible, but I can definitely hear it. So I got the second one because I wanted to test about using this for the input and output, like encoder, decoder. And I just haven't turned that one on yet. Okay, the webcam in would be able to take a webcam output from an ATEM without a converter. That's true. That could be an interesting use. Right. So, oh, and then the one at the very bottom is another LinkPi, which is I'm not using at the moment. Oh, the other nice thing about the Zowietek is that it is USB-C power. So, or PoE. So I don't have PoE on it right now, but USB-C power is convenient for mobile, which is why I was interested in that one. If I remember correctly, the LinkPi, which is down here, does not have USB-C power. This is a 12-volt barrel. I can't quite get it in the shot. There it is, 12-volt barrel on LinkPi. So the Zowietek one has that going for it. Also, interestingly, the video wall controller box is also USB-C power, which is cool. The other toy I just got, which I haven't actually turned on yet, is this, which is a $20 multi-viewer, which is the opposite of the video wall controller. So this takes 4 HDMI in and gives you 1 output. And this is supposed to support 4K also. So in theory, you could use this to, I didn't end up needing it because this new LinkPi with the 4 HDMI inputs is this inside of it. So before I found that one, my thought was these two together are the remote side of your multi-viewer. One output goes into the Zowietek encoder, and that streams your 4K SRT. But this LinkPi does it all in one box. Although it's 12-volt power, barrel jack, these are both USB-C. So there's that, I guess. Yeah, okay. Where were we? Let's take a look at the chat. TVJ says, what do I use for internet? Could I upgrade to get multiple IP addresses? I've never asked. I use just CenturyLink home fiber, and I don't have a static IP, but if I don't turn off my modem, the IP doesn't really change ever. I do have mine set up to ping a DNS server to update the IP address, so I do have a DNS name that doesn't change for it. Studio Back Media says, hi, how can I connect my DJI Mavic Air to the ATEM Mini Extreme wirelessly? I want to stream my shots from the Mavic in stream. Does it really? Two options for the drone. If you have the controller, the fancy DJI controller, the expensive one, it has an HDMI port on that, and that's probably going to be the best bet because it's using the DJI fancy wireless video link between the drone and the controller, which is what you're seeing on the screen anyway. And that's just going to be HDMI out from that. So you would wire that to your ATEM. So as long as your controller can be next to your ATEM, that would work. And that's probably going to be the best. The other option is going over RTMP, which people do, but you are then basically you're going from either the controller or your phone over the internet, or at best a local network, to an RTMP server that you would have to have plugged into your ATEM. And the RTMP server could be a Magewell Pro Convert, or possibly one of these boxes. Does this decoder actually support RTMP, being an RTMP server? I don't know. Stream, push. No, I want to decode. So I don't think I can push an RTMP to this one. Can I push RTMP to the Zowie box? No, because it also wants to go pull something. Yeah, so the Magewell Pro Convert is a great option because this does let you go and make RTMP keys, RTMP pull, no, RTMP push, RTMP push. You create the stream key here, and you give that stream key to your, you get this address to your encoder, which would be the DJI app, either on the remote or on the phone. And then this box would decode it to HDMI. This one's a lot more expensive, but it's great. I am a big fan of it. This is Magewell Pro Convert. This one. That should be in the chat now. Oops. Jeez. I didn't even notice I was on the wrong camera this whole time. You're just looking at a blank wall. That's really funny. That's what I get for not looking when I switch cameras. Whatever. It wasn't like I was showing you anything anyway. Okay. Yeah. What are we doing? Did I show you everything here? I think I did. Yes, we break things on this stream. Let me see if I miss anything in the chat that I want to get to. Randy says, I got a notification from the stream, but no notification for the BTS stream. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, thanks, YouTube. The Cool. Okay. Oh, Urban Media Showcase says, question, are you happy with the Zoe Box video quality? I'm thinking of getting 2 of them. Can they stay on 24/7? I don't know. I haven't tried leaving them on for more than a couple hours at a time at this point. I do know that so at one point I had I had this SRT setup going, and after a couple hours, the link got dropped. I don't know why. I don't know which end of whether it was the LinkPi or the Zowietek's fault. And I did have to actually reboot the LinkPi this morning, and this has been on for a week now. The Zowietek is loud enough that I unplugged it, so I haven't left this one on for more than a couple hours. But yeah, so far it seems pretty solid. And again, I do like the web interface of the Zoe box a lot better. That is this one. Should I get the other one turned on? Do I have an extra network cord is the question. That sounds even... Hopefully that fan goes away. I don't know if you can hear it. Probably not. It's probably quieter than my noise floor. Here, I'll put it right next to the mic while I'm talking, and you might hear it now. It actually kind of sounds rattlier than the other one. Okay, well, that's booting up. Where is... Oh, there it goes. The rattle went away. That's interesting. I don't love that about it. Do I have an extra network cord? I might not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 1, 2, 3, 7. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There should be one. Oh, it's plugged into that. I can reuse that one. This is not turning on. It's not a good sign. Let's try this again. That sounds better. Still not. It should be showing me like something. Am I not giving it the right power? Could be the case. It says 25 watt USB Type-C. Let me see if I give it the power from the other one, if that makes it go. Oh yeah, so I just didn't have the right power supply in it. Okay, so let's see if we can fix that. Not that one. Where did it go? That's so weird. There should be 2 that look the same. They are... It came with a USB-C power brick, which has USB-C on the side of it. But somehow I only have one of them now. Darn. that is zippy. You can hear it next to the mic. Okay. Seems like two Zoe's and the cheapo video wall is the best budget solution if you like the interface better. I definitely like the interface better, but I don't like the fan. Also, USB-C power is definitely a... Why don't I have two of them? It should be... That's so weird. Did I... Huh. Not that. Bummer. Well, I can at least show you the web interface of the one that's in encoder mode. I can find the IP address 214. So this is the new one. Probably would help if I gave it some video to encode. Let's see, what can I give it? I can give it the 4K clip from the HyperDeck. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention about the cheapo video wall controller. When I was setting this up, I was trying to give the cheap video wall controller the video feed from the HyperDeck that's down here, and it didn't work. It was blinking on and off. Don't know why. Just did not like it. So not compatible with Blackmagic for some reason. This expensive one was working fine with a HyperDeck, so I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so this is the encoder. You get a little preview of what's on the HDMI, and then now that it's in the encoding setting, you can see the input. You can see that it's very small. You can see that it's got 4K. You can choose what it's encoding with. H.265. I can make it actually encode 4K. We can drop it down to 4 megabits, for example. And this is, yeah, I'll save that. I wonder if I can steal the... No, I need that video wall controller power. Wish I had some other USB-C power here. I really want to get both Zoe boxes on. But now I know that this one is not sufficient for it. Is this USB-C? Nope. Darn. They're also PoE, but I don't think I have a extra PoE. Oh, maybe this one will work. Because this is a proper USB-C power brick. Let's try that. Aha, okay. Great, so I can get both of these on. We can set it up with this one. So this is going to stream H.265 4K. We tell it where do we want to stream it to. We can protocol, SRT. Oh, shoot, wait. Can I not use the two Zoe boxes together? Because this is the decoder. Because this one, when it decodes, I need to pull it from an SRT listener. That's RTSP over the LAN. I want SRT. Maybe I have to do it over RTSP. Also, why can't I turn that on? I don't want to rely on NDI because this is going to have to go over a VPN, so I don't want to do that. Oh, you can record to a drive too. I forgot about that. Live stream. Shoot, so I can't do two of these because this needs to pull from something. I can't get this and this, or sorry, this is the encoder. I need to push to something, and I can't get the decoder to just sit on something. Can I, let's see, maybe I can. Can I make this an SRT listener? SRT listener. Can I just do like that? 9005. I don't think this is going to work. Yeah, decoding failed. Darn. See, this is what I like about the Pro Converts, because they can do either mode. But this one, I need to push to something. I guess you have to do it over NDI. So if I do it over NDI, you would have to make it so that your NDI works over the internet or your VPN, which is possible. Zowietek, we'll call this one encoder. Let's do that. Oh, you have to restart it? Okay. NDI. Well, I guess there's no button. There it is. And then once it restarts, we can go back to the decoder and it should show up here. Okay, let's wait for that. Look at the chat. Oh, so many more chats. Andrew says, do you think this 4-up setup will work for remote directing a conference stream? What capabilities do you want to add to complete it? Yes, I do think that would work well for a conference stream. If you are remote, yeah, because you could have like your close up and your wide shot and the presenter slides. To complete that, you would probably want to use a decimator to make sure that whatever the speakers are plugging in with their laptops gets scaled to a 1080 feed. And if you are doing that, I would probably want to set up a second copy of it for redundancy, so that you have two of everything coming into your studio, preferably over two different network connections. Because the problem of doing this all remote is that if something goes wrong on the remote side, you have everything goes down and you have no troubleshooting ability unless you're like able to talk to somebody at that end. So that would probably either have a complete copy of it or some sort of backup of the remote side that is simpler, that like maybe it's just a camera in the back of the room on a separate encoder going to your studio, so you always have that as a fallback. Are you aware of a way to show YouTube's content warnings during streaming on the Stream Deck via Companion, so we don't need the YouTube Studio browser page open all the time? Content warnings? I didn't know that was a thing. I have ads. I don't know. I can go and like insert an ad. I can delay ads. I can make a highlight video, add a stream marker. I don't know what a content warning is though. But I believe, so these are all API calls, and I believe there is a way you could rig it up with a companion. There is a YouTube plugin. I do remember that getting logged into it is a bit of a trick. Let's see, mine is turned off. Yeah, so, oh geez. I really shouldn't show you all the credentials on the screen. Well, that's okay, because those are all disabled anyway. But you have to go and like make an app in Google, do some sort of login thing, and then it'll expire in like some amount of time. not very long, I think. So it's awkward. It's not great. They really need to do some work on the companion plugin for YouTube. But once that does exist, once that is set up, there's some actions in companion you can do. I've never seen the content warning one. So not sure if that's supported. Kura says if I have an ATEM Television Studio 4K 8, which can stream to YouTube itself, yeah, and a Blackmagic Web Presenter 4K, can you stream from both at the same time to YouTube and Twitch, for example? For sure, absolutely, yep. You can make, yeah, you can send, you can, your use the ATEM for YouTube, use Web Presenter for Twitch, would totally work fine. The big limit of those is that each of them can only stream to one thing at a time, whereas some of the other products can stream multiple feeds out at the same time. Do I think a metal case instead of a plastic one would improve cooling and reduce the noise? As we all know, small fans produce more noise. It is a small fan. I believe it is. I think that is a metal case. Yeah. It is just a tiny little fan down there, though. Okay, the encoder booted up again. Where is it? So here it is. So this is, what was I doing? NDI. NDI is on. Should be 4K NDI HX3 feed going out called Zowietek Encoder. So I should be able to go over here, refresh it, and sure enough, there it is. I should really give Sky a better IP address on my network. So if I do this, hey, that worked. Ooh, that's not good. So take a look at that. I'll show you the multi-view. This is what we're getting from NDI. Is it? No, yeah, I don't know if you can tell. It's like jittery. That's so weird. It's like an art project. I don't know why it's doing that. That's not a good sign. Let's try it with different NDI. NDI HX2. You have to restart it again. Okay. That's annoying. Well, this is why I test this out, so that you know what it's like to use it. Glitchy video art. We'll let that thing reboot for a while. Do I think there's some sort of DHC encoding happening between the Blackmagic and the video wall decoder? Oh, HDCP? No, I don't think so. Because it would look like staticky noise if that was the case. It's just, I don't know what it is. The Blackmagic Studio camera is an amazing camera, so I think, but it has no autofocus. It's still a good camera for streaming, one-person setup. I really think about buying one or three. Blackmagic Studio camera. Again, their names. I always forget which one's which. Is that the little tiny one? Oh, these guys. Yeah, they're good. I will say these ones with the screen are probably not the best for your setup there if it's just you, because you don't need the screen on the back and you won't be able to see it. This little one, little tiny one, could definitely be a good option. I personally don't need autofocus because I very rarely do things like that you would need autofocus for, which is like, look at this, and then I want it to focus. And even when, if I did do that, like, do I trust it to do that autofocus correctly? No, not usually. On the overhead shots, you know, if I was to go like this and wanted it to autofocus, it would be nice if it worked, but like, unless it's perfect autofocus, it's going to be, when it's on, like, when I'm just doing something down here, it's going to be pulsing, which is annoying. Sorry for the power cable draped across the desk. I've also seen autofocus go wrong where it's like, if you have like your hands on the desk, which part is it going to focus on? Is it focusing on the top or on the bottom? And it can like get confused about what it should be doing, so it just pulses in. It looks worse than not autofocus at all. So I don't care about having autofocus because I lock the focus on the cameras all the time anyway. And if I am going to be shooting something like where this thing is like, 5 inches off the ground, so now it's not in focus, I will just go over to my camera, which, because these cameras are network cameras, this is not the Blackmagic one. These are the Lumix BGH ones. If I can find the cameras, which I can name them. That's not the right one. I do have a note here about which camera is which. Table is 1D5. So if I go over to the overhead, what I would do, and I do this sometimes during the stream, but actually more when I'm recording, I'll go here and I'll just be like, okay, we're going to focus on that part now. And then it's focused here instead of down here. And now I know it's focused there. So if I take it away and put something back there, it's going to still be in focus, right? I don't think that lack of autofocus is a problem for most things like this, if it's going to be you on stream. So the Blackmagic cameras, they don't have the remote video feed that I have here, but they do have the camera control that you get in the ATEM, which still can adjust your focus. There's an autofocus button down here too, so that's probably what I would end up doing, is you just put your thing in the frame, press the autofocus button, and then it's not continuous autofocus, but it does do autofocus. Like it'll find it. It'll find the right focus. Or if you wanted to, you could scroll the little stupid wheel down here. So you don't get to preview the camera image on the computer, but you do get to still control them, which is good. Yeah, the small one. Someone knocked on my door. Is this from one Zoe to one Zoe? Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is get the two Zoe boxes to talk to each other, and I can't seem to do it with anything except NDI. So we're going to now try NDI HX2 and see what pops up on the ATEM here. And is it any less glitch art? Let's see. Camera 5. Nope. That's super glitchy. That's not good. So that's a Not sure if that is. Not sure whose fault that is. Here we're doing streaming, NDI, HX2. Encoder is set to H265. 4K. Which worked great over SRT. It's unfortunate that I can't get it to work between the two Zoe boxes. Now we know. Okay. So if I wanted to get this back to the way it was working, the way that it was working was with the LinkPi box. So I can take the video back here and get out of NDI mode. So the LinkPi box is this one that takes 4 individual HDMI ports. So it has the video wall controller built in, or multi-view built in. Takes 4 separate HDMIs. I can arrange them in a grid inside this box, and it can create. The thing that makes it work is that the SRT encoder in it can be configured as a listener, so that in the Zoe box, I can put in the device IP address of that encoder and pull the stream, which again is sending a 4K stream, 4 megabit stream, 4K, over the network to this, which is now down here, which looks much better. Did I see a slight little color fringe happening? There's something happening. Definitely better than the NDI though, which is interesting. Okay. Can I do a video on decimators? It'll be helpful to new people. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done a video about decimators. I've definitely just like talked about them on streams before, but they are very useful little converter boxes that can solve a lot of problems. The product autofocus on the little Sony ZV-1 is the best of that kind of stuff. Yeah, because they went for exactly that use case of like, we are going to be used by people doing show the product at the screen kind of thing, and it does do it well. It does do it well. Maybe glitching is because of frame rate interval versus frame rate settings. In the NDI one, maybe. I didn't check that. Frame rate 30, frame interval 60, which is correct. Oh, that's cool. You can rotate the video. I didn't try H.264, but I doubt it would be better. It certainly would use more bandwidth. Yeah, no video source detected. I can make the LinkPi do H.264 if you want to see the bandwidth difference. Let's try that. Let's try H.264. And yeah, it paused. So I think I have to go back to the Zowie decoder. It stopped. Let's turn it back on. And let's see what it decodes at. I think I still set it to 4 megabits, right? So we should be still getting a 4 megabit stream, but it's probably going to look worse now. So let's see if that is the case. We've got, there's not a lot of motion in these shots. It actually looks okay. Oh, I see a little bit of skipping. This does appear to be not as good as the H.265 version. Yeah. Who is driving this car? Are the cats driving it? The issue with the decimators is they've been backordered for like 2 years. Oh no, really? I feel bad that I have 2 of them then. After getting to use H.265, I never want to go back to 264. It's true. It's so much better. Less detail in cat fur patterns. Oh, good. Okay, I can't really see that from this distance, I guess. But that makes sense. 4 megabit H.264 should absolutely look worse than 4 megabit H.265. We'll go back to H.265. There are lots of compression artifacts. Okay, good. Is there any other options for other than the decimator in the market? The decimator seems to be the king of the castle. It really is. It really is the king of the castle for what it does. Blackmagic does make one thing that is similar. It has a silly name, of course. This one. Oh gosh, models. Where did it go? Up, down, cross. It's cheaper, but it doesn't quite do as many different options as the decimator, but it does take HDMI and SDI in. It has SDI loop out, which is good. And then SDI outs and HDMI outs. What are the video formats that it supports? Here we go. So we've got 720, 1080, input 720, 1080. So it's more like the scalers in the ATEM Mini, actually, because that's, I think, the same set of input signals that the ATEM Mini can scale. The decimator can do a lot more different conversions. Oh, here we go. Computer scale. So it does have a little bit more. So if you send a DVI from a computer, it can take 640 or 480, 800 by 600, but not other weirder shapes. Yeah, it's cheaper though. I've never actually used this one. The decimators save so many things on when you're actually like dealing with random people's computers at a conference. Oh yeah, I forgot. Those use dip switches, which are a pain. That's right. The decimator has an on-screen menu where you can configure a lot of that kind of stuff. Now that we are back to H.265, let's grab that again and see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we're back to H.265, and we've got a cat over there and over here. And where did it go? Oh. Coming around the corner to here and rounding the corner here. Back to here. And yeah, fun. Okay. Oh, that's right. They do have a computer interface for the USB as well. Hello, hello. I've broken many pencil leads in those dip switches. Yeah. Kura says, thank you so much for your amazing answers. You helped me so much. You're very welcome. Very welcome. What are you doing? Says if it's not said enough, thanks for all you do. I would have bought 2 of those based on last week's stream and then taking too long to test and not able to return them. You're welcome. Well, hopefully you get a chance to see what these things are like and what they can do. And that's what we do here. Up, down, cross requires more brain power to set on the fly because of all the switches, not super useful in stressful situations. That is a very important factor. How useful is it in a stressful situation? Oh, this was from earlier. Decimator and backup wide angle sounds like a good idea. Cheers. By content warnings, I mean the warnings when you show a copyrighted stream in your own. I still don't know what that button is. Interesting. I got 20 packages in the mail this week and I can't do what I wanted because I'm missing one power cable. Is so relatable. I'm going to have to find that thing because it has to be around here somewhere. I really need to get better about labeling my power supplies too. Sometimes I do make a little sticker and put them on the side and I'm like, this is what this is for. Which I feel like is getting more important with USB-C because USB-C is like 3 different voltages and can be so many different amps, and the cables and the adapters and the power bricks actually matter in terms of how that is what's happening. So yeah, you can't just grab a random power brick and assume it's going to work. Can we freeze replay video at that time? I'm not sure what device you're talking about. But generally there's not that many devices that have like a freeze button in them. The ATEM only kind of does. There's a capture button which grabs a still frame, puts it in your media pool. It's not great for that. There's also no physical button on the ATEM. Oh, you're talking about the YOLO Box Ultra. I think you can pause it when it's playing it back. Do I have... Let's see if I have it. Now that I have this little Mario Kart game, I can test out replay features and devices better too, because I can pipe the video into like the Ola box now too. Melo says, thinking about switching to the Epiphan Pearl units strictly for H.265. Can somebody stop me? There's other H.265 encoders, but those are great units too. If you don't need the rest of the features that are in the Pearl, it's kind of an expensive option, but they do have a lot of good features. Let's see. I've got this. Oh yeah, you can add a thumbnail now from your while you create the stream on a Yellow box. I don't think this is the community to discourage you from buying something new and fun. Yeah. Okay, let me grab a couple of these out of the ATEM. These are not the slim ones, so they're much more awkward. HDMI in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make sure that this is in focus. Do you or somebody happen to know whether the multi-view SDI and HDMI work simultaneously on the ATEM Television Studio HD8 ISO? I borrowed one of those once, but they should work. Yes, on most Blackmagic gear, all of the outputs are always on. There's no like option for them. Epiphan Pearl Nano is the most solid piece of tech I have, and I have a lot of tech. I agree. It is a solid option. No complaints really. Okay, so here we've got our 4 video feeds coming in. This is actually the decoded SRT video. So I think I have to be recording in order for the replay to work. And then replay. Please enable the replay first. Oh. Let's stop. Where is it? Where did it go? Recording. Source program. No. There it is. Okay, we'll capture 4. Selected replay source, replay on. Okay. So when we're doing a stream, nope, I don't want to reselect the source. Okay. Can I hit the replay button? Read has been generated, use later. Here we go. So now I can go and choose which one to replay. And yes, I can pause. So that wasn't a very dramatic one. Let's go to play 2 and I can hit pause and it does pause the video. And then I can exit replay to go back live. Cool. That worked. Remind people how to search topics from past live streams. Demo with HD8. Good point. If I did timestamps, which it all hinges on that, which I have not been doing a very good job of lately. So, but I think I did do it for that one. So if you go to aaronpk.tv, there is a section down here, where is it? My little nav, I should really move this up. Livestream chapter search. If I did timestamps, you should be able to search for HD8 and find all the chapters where I've done live streams about the HD8. So I've got Hyperdeck HD8 demo, Q&A, announcement, and intro. This one I think was the actual live demo of it. So that will that'll definitely be something. The other one you can search is searching the questions. So if you search HD8 in the Q&A search, this is going to show all of the times that I've shown questions on the streams that mention HD8. For example, even this one today, which is why there's no timestamp yet, because the stream is still in progress. But if you go and look at older ones, it'll be like, here's where Ryan during the New Year's stream said ATEM Nano HD8. That's not helpful. Here's one from a December stream. Here's where I answer this question, which could be helpful. Differences between SDI Extreme and HD8. So yeah, that can be a great way to find other information as well. That one doesn't require me doing timestamps later, so the question search is usually more comprehensive. Bjarn says, new subscriber from Greenland. Greenland? Cool. Welcome. Oh, and I see you on the map now, too, which is very cool. Where did it go? Oh, wrong camera, but now you got your pin in Greenland. That's cool. If you don't know, David uses Companion and Notion to generate YouTube timestamps and has videos about it. Yeah, it still means I have to do more planning of the live streams while I'm doing them to be able to know when I am moving to a new topic. What I'm trying right now, though, is a new thing, which is this whole stream. I mentioned this at the very beginning and did not mention it again. But this whole stream, I've actually been in a Zoom meeting also, and been piping my audio into this Zoom meeting. And the Zoom meeting has the AI meeting summary feature turned on. So at the end of the meeting, I'm going to end the meeting and I'll get an email with the summary of what happened. And I'm hoping I can use that to go back and find topics that we talked about, topic chunks. I can also ask the Zoom about the meeting, about the live stream. What do you want to know? How many times has Aaron said ATEM? I don't know if that's going to work. 35 times. Okay, I don't know if I believe it, but hey, there you go. Also, I don't know why the video in that capture card is squished. Do you think the Raspberry Pi 5 has any purpose in the video encoding business? I don't have a 5 yet, but I've used 4 for a couple of things. Definitely running Companion on a Pi is useful. Although you don't need a 5 for it because the 4 works just fine. Theoretically, because that's a better processor, it should be able to do more video encoding tasks. But I don't think they've brought back the OMX player, which was my favorite thing about the Pis, that I could use to output a video feed without having the whole desktop GUI loaded. But I think there's some interesting things you can do with it still. Do you happen to know a wireless device like the ones from Hollyland that transmits a control signal? Main use case would be Blackmagic cameras. Ooh. No, I don't know of one, because that would have to be bidirectional, and they're normally not. Ask it again, and it should say 36. Good point. Let's see if that worked. Still 35 times. So I'm not sure I believe it. Can I reverse the replay video on the Yellowbox Ultra? No, I didn't see any reverse options, just playing it back. Yeah, forwards. How's the internet in Greenland? Starlink 250 down, 45 up. That's pretty good. Robert's tuning in from Nairobi. Very cool. Oh, I see you on the map too. That's great. That map. Welcome, welcome. Okay, well, we're just about done here, I think, because we got through a pile of stuff. Talked about all sorts of encoders, decoders. Still not quite sure which of these I like better, because I like web interface better of these, but the fan is a little annoying, and I didn't realize you can't set them up to pair up to each other. And that was not a good NDI experience with them. This box I'm happy with. This is the LinkPi 5, which is this one. Which is more expensive, but it's not too expensive considering it's both the multi-viewer and the SRT encoder. Web interface does leave something to be desired, but hey, it works pretty well. So take it. All right. Let's go wrap things up back over here. And maybe I can fix my audio volume situation. Why is it quieter? I don't think I changed anything, but I do see it drop down quite a bit in the levels. Huh. And I've got, that's so weird because like, it wasn't always like that. So I guess I can go, guess I can just tweak this. I should be able to go and bump this up a little bit, I think. No, that's, where is it? Not the threshold. I want, I guess I can just up the gain of the whole mic. Hopefully that doesn't mess things up too bad. Okay. Yeah, anyway, that was fun. That was fun. Remember the thumbs up video? Good reminder. Thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell, even though the bell is useless. But we are going to wrap things up. Thank you to all the channel members for your support. We got to hang out earlier in the stream. Oh, did I lose my music? Thanks to the extreme supporters, Larry, David, and Marcin. I want the music. Let's do that again. No music today for the end, I guess. Oh well. Maybe that one will work. Okay, we get different ending music today. Don't know why that sometimes music just doesn't work. This one's a good song too anyway. Anyway, yeah, thanks for hanging out. Fun time playing with encoders and decoders, and we will try again next week, see what we can do. If you have any questions about these, let me know, because that is a pile of stuff, and I bought it all, so I'll have it. I'm not gonna return them. That would be rude, I think. They all work fine. Hopefully I get a chance to try one out outside soon. I want to actually hook them up to a 4G modem and see what we can do. So we will be back same time, same place next week. See you all again next time.